Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are in the world. This is RetroCore Volume 25. And kicking off this month's show, we've got Road Blaster for the Sega Saturn. Some of you may remember this game from the Mega CD, known as Road Adventure. And it features a lovely intro song by Jaywalk. Unfortunately, that's not available on the Sega Saturn version, since it's a pure arcade conversion, with a lot of extras thrown in. So featuring all the exact same courses as the original arcade and the Mega CD version, with the extra bonus of being able to see what's going on, unlike the Mega CD version. This Sega Saturn version also has the extra options of being able to reverse and mirror all the courses. So as you can see straight away, compared to the Mega CD version, the actual hood of the game is completely different. And in fact, this game does actually have two hoods. You have this version, which you can see right now, and the original arcade version, which I'll show you later on. Basically, the gameplay is the same as the Mega CD version. You just push left and right, brake and accelerate. But one added bonus about the Saturn version is when you press the accelerate button, you actually have to place the cursor in a certain position on the screen. So just pressing accelerate at some points doesn't do anything at all. You just end up crashing. You can see there a little target box appears on the back of the car. You've got to get your cursor within that target box. Put it on easy and you're allowed to have a bit of a leeway on there. But you put it on hard and you've got to be exactly in the target box. And let me tell you, it's bloody tough. So stuff you see every day, really. A great big pile up on the beach. The controls in the Saturn version of Road Blaster are actually quite good as well. Like I said, on easy mode you have a little bit of leeway, but put on hard and you've got to be absolutely spot on. And the timing's actually quite good. I think in the Mega CD version, every now and then you got the timing a bit off, but on the Saturn version, it seems to be spot on all the time. You can see there, I've just got myself killed. Oh, I gotta love the expression on these kids' faces here. Just wait for it. Look at that. Nice. Now, not only do you get Road Blasters on the in the pack, we also get Thunderstorm FX, also known as Cobra Command in the West, which is actually the main disc of the pack. But personally I prefer Road Adventure. And I sort of count Thunderstorm FX as sort of a bonus. So either way, if you love these games, you're going to absolutely love this pack. To me, Road Boss is just a pure classic. Gets a lovely Metascore score of 7 out of 10. Now remember before I was telling you about the original arcade HUD? Well, here it is. As you can see, it looks a lot more basic than the Sega Saturn version. And also the sound effects are slightly different as well. Oops. It's mobile phone gaming time. Been missed out from the last 2 retro cores, but it's back. So kicking it off is Densha Go Yamanote. Now I must say, for some strange unknown reason, the phone was taking a bit of a fit when I was doing this feature. I'm running all the games at some dodgy frame rates. As you can see here, it keeps doing slight pauses every now and then. But every game on this feature is going to be looking like this, because I don't know why, but the phone just didn't want to work properly. But to be honest, they do all work absolutely perfectly when you view them on the phone screen. Just when you run it through the TV out, it looks a bit dodgy. So there you go, that's Densha Go there for the phone, Yamanote. Features the entire Yamanote line, line I should say, including all the stops and all the little extras. And let's move on to something that you really want to see. This is the main game for the mobile gaming this month. It's Dracula, better known as Castlevania. By the way, I just better point out that that Densha Go was actually produced by G-Rev. Yep, the same people who made Border Down and The Defeat and a lot of other games for the Sega Dreamcast. Even though it's got Taito's name on it. So here we go, it's Castlevania, meant to be based on the original arcade version. Whether it is or not, I'm not too sure. Coming to us from Konami Mobile. And surprisingly, it's actually very, very good. But Konami being the cheap bosses they are, went and left all the music in mono. Absolutely no respect to us people who've got phones that can produce their stereo audio. You can see graphically it's pretty nice. Unfortunately none of the levels have parallax scrolling. But at least there's none of this glitching where you put your character up the stairs and he starts to walk backwards. And of course it features all your favourite Castlevania tunes. Once you finish the game, you also get a couple of bonus modes as well, including sub-weapon only mode, so you got no whip. But you can play a boss mode where you have to go through all the bosses. Featuring a whopping 18 levels as well. Well, it's not really 18 levels. Basically what they do is they split each level into a couple of parts. In total there are actually 8 levels. So that's enough of Castlevania. Let's move on and take a look at Raiden 3. Actually brought to us by a completely unknown company. Now while it looks fine and dandy here on the video, it is actually a little bit on the sluggish side to play. And compared to the likes of Cyvaria, it's not very good. But still, seems a decent enough conversion. If only it was a little bit smoother and a bit more friendlier to play. Oh, another thing as well, it comes in 2 parts. First 4 levels in the first download and the last 4 levels in the second download. And what makes it even more insulting is that it's got the same bloody background music for every single level. Unbelievable. So let's move on to Mudak Kumo. This is coming to us from Software. Absolutely crazy controls in this one. Just basically take a look at this. No, not the volume. Look at that! Bloody mad. So basically the game consists of you chasing another robot through the city or through the sewers or whatever, and you gotta blow the crap out of him before he gets out of reach. You can go anywhere you want, completely off rails, but you're always going forwards. While you're flying, you also gotta make sure you pick up energy packs and ammo. If you don't, you're gonna run out of power. Featuring absolutely crap loads of missions. I've been up to mission 16 myself. It gets a bit crazy from then. So it's certainly going to last you quite some time. And the choice of the 3 mechs does actually make a difference as well. This one which we've got here is actually quite fast, but its weapon power is pretty poor, to be honest. So there you go. I hope you liked this month's mobile phone feature. More coming up next month. In the early days of SNK, they certainly didn't mind ripping off a few ideas from Capcom, and they've certainly done it with this game. This is Burning Fight. Bears uncanny resemblance to Final Fight. As you can see, that guy, he doesn't look like Guy at all, does he? Nah, just my imagination, looks nothing like Guy. Or does he? As you can guess, this is a walk-along beat-em-up. An extremely slow walk-along beat-em-up. Starring 3 bad guys. Have to take out the sort of Yakuza-looking assholes of downtown Japan. Got a couple of moves there. You got a punch, you got some sort of a jump kick, you got the standard kick, and you got a special. And that's about it really. You can pick up objects as well and swat the people over the head with the objects. Smash the crap out of scenery beside you. And every now and then you'll see a little building that says in on the doorway. Go in there and you get yourself a little bonus round where you got to destroy as much stuff as possible within the time limit. Let's just go in here. There you see, everything with breakpoint written on it, you got to destroy. Don't worry about killing the enemies, they'll soon fuck off on their own accord. There you go, see, he's gone. One thing which you will certainly notice about this game is the amazing lack of detail in it, or lack of animation I should say. Some of the character animation is what they're taking. I've seen better on the Super Famicom. You know, you got a punch and it consists like of 2 animation frames, one out, one back in. So there's the animation being pretty bad, the music's also incredibly dull. And the speech in it is completely incomprehensible. No idea what they're saying. Just sounds like to me. That guy having a piss in the background or what? steal this guy's gun and shoot someone. There you go. As well as ripping off Capcom games, wait till you see the boss of the stage. Here he is. Nah, that's not Hulk Hogan at all, is it? Nah, it can't be. They'd get done for copyright, wouldn't they, if it was? Or would they? God knows what he said. Sounds a bit like Kiss Mine, but unlikely. And you can see we've changed character here to the complete and utter Cody lookalike. Unbelievable. In fact, when you actually have the Cody lookalike guy playing and the guy lookalike guy playing, it does actually look like some sort of extra level from Final Fight. Fell asleep, yeah? I nearly did while playing this. I don't know if you ever noticed, but many many SNK games, I should say, have pretty camp characters in, and this game's no exception. Just bend them over to do him there when he threw him. Here we go, Mr. Camp. And of course, you can't be a direct rip-off of other games, so instead of being in a train, why not stick them on the train? So that's a lovely game there for you. Gets a lovely retro score of 4 out of 10. There are a million better beam-ups on the SNK Neo Geo than this. Buy one of them instead. This is just boring. That's some of the best looking FMV you've ever seen for the Sega Saturn. Oh wow, this is Fighters Megamix, and you can see here it's got absolutely crap load of characters. Originally you don't get that many characters, to be honest, you only get half of them, but every time you complete a certain course, as you can see here, you get more characters to choose from. Originally there's only 4 courses available, A, B, C and D, but once you complete them you do get the extra courses, and each time you complete one extra course, another extra course will appear. So as you can see, there's certainly a lot in this game. So kicking off the rounds, we've got Jane from Virtua Cop. she's actually one of the hidden characters in the game. And she controls pretty much unique, to be honest. She doesn't control anything like any of the Virtua Fighter characters, but she does seem to have a bit of an Akira playability to her. But she is different enough to warrant as a completely new character. She's got this really nice door as well, where she actually knocks you onto the floor and then jumps on you and steps off. So as you probably noticed, this stage is actually from Virtua Fighter 3. That's probably the closest you're going to come to Virtua Fighter 3 on the Sega Saturn. As you all know, Virtua Fighter 3 was produced for the Sega Saturn and completely scrapped. And also makes me wonder that, are these character models used within Fighters Megamix the ones that were going to be used in Virtua Fighter 3? Because a lot of them do seem to have the Virtua Fighter 3 clothes. As you can see, the character models are completely different than the ones used in Virtua Fighter 2.
Fight! Ready, go!
Not only are the Virtua Fighter character models being completely redesigned for Fighters Megamix, but also the Fighting Vipers models have as well, giving everyone in the game a complete new look. Another thing about Fighters Megamix, which isn't featured in Virtua Fighter but is featured in Fighters Megamix, is featured in Fighting Vipers, I should say, is the light source. Every single stage has a light source in it. Some stages it's not actually too noticeable, such as this stage. But on this stage you can definitely notice it shining up from the floor. Two modes of play as well. You got Virtua Fighter mode and Fighting Vipers mode. In a Virtua Fighter mode you just play basically as Virtua Fighter. But in the Fighting Vipers mode, you got the lovely extra bonus of the power attack, which enables you to either dodge enemies' attacks or rebound them, or kick your enemies right through the bloody wall. Little bit of a Kid Sarah versus normal Sarah there. Unfortunately, some stages in the game do have some really bad slowdown, such as this stage, which is a greatest stage, I think. Just watch this. Ah, that's nasty slowdown there. Now I don't know why it does slow down, to be honest, because Fighting Vipers never slowed down like this. Hey, there goes your armor. But to be honest, the slowdown isn't that severe that it will bother your enjoyment of the game. And as I said, it only happens on some stages. It happens on greater stages and also happens on Axel stage. Like the Axel stage is really bad. And here we go, again another cancelled Sega Saturn game. This is Sonic the Fighters inspired level. Again, the closest you're ever going to get to Sonic the Fighters on the Saturn. So as well as featuring all the characters from Virtua Fighter 2, a couple from other games, and all the characters from Fighting Vipers, Fighters Megamix also features a couple of extra hidden characters as well, such as a bloody leg of beef. But they're all extra hidden characters which you gotta play the game to find them. So as well as having the normal games, you've also got a ranking mode. And you got this lovely training mode as well, and thank God you can change the music because the default music's fucking awful. You can see we're playing as the Hornet from Daytona here. Absolutely useless character to go as, but it does have one amusing throw. That was it, by the way. buys Megamix is definitely a beat 'em up that every Sega Saturn owner should buy. And it's not even that expensive, really, it's pretty cheap. Available in all territories, featuring all your favourite characters from all your favourite Sega Saturn games. Including a few extras such as the Virtua Fighter 3 moves, and costumes, and a bit from Sonic the Fighters. This month's Game of the Month. Featuring some wonderful graphics, especially for the Game Gear, this is Aladdin. Completely follows the story of the movie as well, which is quite surprising, unlike the Super Famicom version. This is based more on the Virgin title for the Sega Mega Drive. Certainly looks like it. Whereas the Super Famicom version was a completely new game by Capcom, and to be honest, nowhere near as good. So the first few levels have you escape from guards by jumping over various obstacles. Nothing too taxing there. Fall down a hole though and you're back to the very beginning. So you gotta be careful. You can see the animation on the character is really spot on. In fact, it's just as good as the Mega Drive version. The only thing that really lets it down is the audio. Just check out the lovely 3D effect on these buildings as they jump from one building to the other. A nice little bit of use of parallax there to make it look 3D-ish. Very nice. So as I said, only the first few levels are like this. And once you complete a level, you get these little cutscenes which explain the plot of the story. And as I said at the beginning, they do follow the animation quite well. Control-wise, the controls are quite responsive, except for when you're trying to go downstairs, it can be a little bit fiddly. But apart from that, yeah, the controls are pretty good. You can see him trying to get down the stairs there. It's just crawling. The game's going to last you quite a bit as well, because if you fail a level, you go straight back to the very beginning, which can be really frustrating. But then again, at least it's going to keep you at the game longer. The only problem is it's got infinite continues. So Aladdin on the Game Gear gets a lovely retro core score of 8 out of 10. A very nice platformer. So, regular viewers of Retro Core know that I'm quite a bit of a shooters fan. And this is certainly one of my favourite shooters from the mid-90s. This is Guwange for the arcade. Everything about this game just oozes beauty. Even these little intros. Gameplay is pretty much like most of our cave shooters. You got your standard rapid fire, keep your finger on the button and you get a slow paced, more powerful shot. But one nice little feature is the little suppose it's a ghost really. As you can see, this character's ghost is a dog, and you can actually control where that goes. The only problem is when you're controlling the dog, the actual movement of your main character is a little bit on the sluggish side, because you actually control her as well. But you can place the dog on certain enemies, or on any enemy I guess, to drain away the power and kill them. She kills them a lot quicker than the sound of bullets as well. But as I said, the drawback is that your main character is going to move extremely sluggish, meaning it's a little bit difficult to get out of the way of projectiles coming your way. I suppose that's to stop you cheating really. The character's also got an energy bar, so it's not exactly one of those games where it's one hit and you're dead. Just as well really, because it's fucking tough going at points. Look at that, beautiful isn't it? The way the stages blend into each other is amazing as well. You know, just as the high score tables fading out, the next stage fades in with the music overlapping. Sounds really good. So as you can see, the attention to detail in this game is extremely high. Not only do you have a shitload of bullets all over the screen, you've also got some really high detailed enemy sprites. Especially these lanterns here. I don't know if you can actually see too well on this recording, but they actually got a sort of it's not light system, but they've got a nice little lighting effect to them, which really does stand out. And being a shoot 'em up based on the old samurai times, it's full of all those weird Japanese horror folk legend type monsters. So you've got little upside down heads and pots here. Little kappas there flying away. I don't know if you just noticed, but a big cat spider just walked off then. Hit somebody in his mouth. Well, there's not something you see every day, is it? A spider's body with a cat's head attached to it. It's a shame that Guwange never actually got a Sega Dreamcast release. Well, they went down really well on the Sega Dreamcast. But unfortunately, it was never meant to be. Bit of a shame really. In fact, I think only Atlas ever made one game for the Sega Dreamcast. And that was Macan X. Shame really. Since Atlas ported quite a few of Cave's games to the Sega Saturn. Oh, look at that slug eating the guy! Disgusting. So Guwange gets a electrical score of 8 out of 10. A wonderful shooter, well worth checking out. Ever wanted to play the role as James Bond in a virtual cop style game? Well, here's your chance if you have. It's a confidential mission for the Sega Dreamcast.
Confidential mission.
So starting off the levels is a bit like a Mission Impossible effort. You get your mission rundown.
A group of international terrorists have seized control of the World Coalition's latest high-tech spy satellite. CMF sources have traced the satellite to an archaeological museum. Your mission is to secretly infiltrate the museum and find out who is responsible for stealing the satellite. Good luck.
Looks like the work of Agares.
That's how they operate.
It's over, Agent Gibson! Prepare to die!
So for the benefit of those who suffer from epilepsy, I'm actually playing this with the control pad.
You'll never get this disc!
And I must say, it's bloody annoying. Makes you wonder why they ever brought Virtua Fighter 3 out on the Xbox when there wasn't a gun available for the machine. Needless to say, playing the control pad is extremely fiddly. Well, it is for me. I can't seem to get the cursor on the enemies most of the time. So of course the way to go is with the light gun.
Get the disc back.
So as you probably figured out, you take the role of a secret agent, and you got to take out all the bad guys and rescue one of the members of the state, or whoever it is. Someone with a lot of money anyway. So just like in the Virtua Cop games, you got a little target that rotates around your characters, showing you which ones to shoot first. And of course, just like in all the other gun shooting games, you gotta avoid shooting the general public. Shoot one of them, you lose 1 hit point. So every now and then throughout the game you get these little special tasks to do. If you manage to complete them successfully, you can skip a load of extra hassle. But if you fail them, more bad guys to kill for you. So this one we've got to shoot the clock.
Let's move now.
I bet you thought it was going to break through the window there, didn't you? Well, actually it does.
Quick, up to the roof. Watch your step.
And as with all gun games, the bosses are complete and utter bastards. Why on earth they keep making the bosses so tough on these gun games is beyond me. You end up with a bloody dead trigger finger by the end of each level. Shit looks pretty cool though. Unfortunately, Confidential Mission at default only has 3 levels, but it does have a load of training missions as well where you can actually increase your skill, such as target practice, reflex practice, and judgment. There's also a couple of extra hidden modes in there as well, which I won't tell you about. I'll leave them as a secret for you in case you'd ever buy the game.
I cannot help admiring your perseverance.
Can't help but admire your suit, mate.
I'll give you a final blow.
Pretty snazzy suit, that. So, Confidential Mission on Dreamcast is definitely one of the best gun games for the system. Actually, I preferred it to House of Dead 2. Even if it is a lot shorter. That's a lovely Metrocore score of 8 out of 10.
君の選択が戦士たちの運命を変える。スーパーファミコンドラゴンボール Z スーパー悟空伝覚醒編登場。
セガサターン。
プレゼントは何かな？
きっとセガサターンだわ。今買うとクリスマスナイツがついてるんだよね。あなたパパ。
セガサターンはクリスマスナイツキャンペーン。
ンオリジナルのデジタルコミックにニューヒロイン、スーパー CD ロムロムで登場。銀河お嬢様伝説ユダ。
銀河お嬢様伝説ユナ。恋も冒険もまとめて面倒見ます。あなたのハートに直撃弾。
by Addison。
あの噂の真相知りたくない？少女たちが恐怖に挑むプレイステーション用学園ホラーアドベンチャー、トワイライトシンドローム探索編。
気分がビュンビュン走り出す16ビットのファンティークルーズ。あのアウトランがメガドライブから新登場。
ゲームはカラー。出会った仲間がいる。戦った友がいる。君は誰と冒険に出る？テレビアニメ「ワンピース」幻のグランドライン冒険記。
五右衛門愛の劇場第13回。徐々に深まりゆく秋の中で、街の風景もどこかしら違って見えてくるこの頃であった。
五右衛門様、
トナミ。
I remember in the early 90s when 1-1-2 beat-em-ups were really popular, mainly due to the fact of Capcom and Street Fighter and the SNK series of games. And then you go and get the Americans making Mortal Kombat. You got to make it real. Personally, I think Mortal Kombat's a sack of shit, but it's got its fans, so leave it at that. Well, you know, everyone joined the bandwagon. You got Data East with the Fighter's History, and you had Atlas with the Power Instinct series. And even Taito joined in as well, with a not too bad beat 'em up. But what did Irem do? Oh, you're looking at it, it's fucking shite! Perfect Soldiers! Not shite enough to be shite of the week, but shite of the month should say, but you know, it's still shite. Everything about this game just screams cheese. And even the characters' names are pathetic. You got a robot who's called Meltdown, you got a lady dancer who's called Broadway, ooh, highly original, and you got a guy who looks like a dinosaur and he's called Dinosaur! Never mind the names being cheesy, but how about the moves? Well, to be honest, the moves are non-existent. Animation's pretty bad on the whole, apart from Broadway's little pelvic thrust. Complete. It's an awful game. I'm surprised it's even got released in the arcades. Edgecore scored a 4 out of 10. It's time to look at that Japanese hardware, and today we're going to take a look at the Dreamcast karaoke system, known as the Dreamkara. Okay, so let's have a look and see what's in the box. So first of all, you got your instructions there, and some stickers for your microphone. And you get a lovely song catalogue as well. This is actually a free edition. You can actually buy updated versions of it, or you could buy updated versions of it, and it features all the songs available on the network. You can see they're listed in Japanese, but don't worry, they've also got English songs as well. basically all the music in it is all the same stuff featured in the actual real karaoke bars that you go to, or karaoke rooms I should say. And here's the disc, the driver disc I suppose you could call it. Got a nice microphone here, which is actually not too bad, to be honest. Not the greatest microphone in the world, but you know, it's not too bad. And it does say Dreamcast on it. Nice little bonus there. And the Dream Karaoke system itself. So let's take a look at the machine closer up. See, at the front you've got left and right volumes for the microphones, and 2 microphone inputs as well. As you can see, the connecting slot is actually where the modem goes on the Dreamcast, but not to worry, because the modem goes into the side of the Dreamkara. Around the back you got a power out which goes into the Dreamcast, a power in, and audio and video in and out. There you go, you can see there, that's where you plug in your modem or your broadband. So let's connect it to the Dreamcast. Looking a bit lonely there, sitting on a video case. So here we go, it's all set up. A bit of a monster really. So let's take a look around the back. Now as you can see, the power goes into the karaoke system. And then there's a lead coming out of the karaoke system that goes into the Dreamcast, which powers up the Dreamcast. The video comes out of the karaoke system, but you also need the video from the Dreamcast as well. So what happens is there's a video lead that goes from the Dreamcast into the karaoke system, and the karaoke system into the TV. Now one really stupid thing about it is that you can't run it in RGB. No idea why, it just does not run in RGB. Or S-video either. Or VGA. You got to run it through the stupid phono sockets. So alright, let's boot it up. As I was saying before, it's good. Well, not anymore because the service has gone offline now. But it basically had all the exact same stuff that you get at any karaoke studio that you went to in Japan. So it's got thousands and thousands of songs on there. And what you could actually do is play the songs with the videos. You'd actually need broadband for that. It takes about 5 minutes to download the first song, and then you can download other songs while you're singing. So you basically can download up to 5 songs at once, and they'll just keep stored in the memory until you switch the machine off. So once the first initial download's done, you're pretty much sorted. No more waiting for the songs. You can also connect your Dream camera up here, your Dream Eye camera, to this, so you can have yourself singing on the TV. Or you can just forget about the videos if you just got a dial-up modem. Just have pictures in the background. So let's start up with the actual microphone.
So as you can see here, we can change the volume of the actual karaoke music as well, and you can also change the volume of the guide. But one nice little feature here is the echo, so you can turn the echo up really high, or you can turn the echo off completely. But of course, you're going to keep it with a little bit of echo on, makes yourself sound better, doesn't it? And right here you've got different types of modes. So you've got sort of a club mode there, 50 style. And you got sort of a parade as well, but all sorts of different types of 3D stereo, which is a bit crazy. And we just put it back onto a normal karaoke. There we go. Now, one lovely little feature here is the way you can change your voice.
As you speak now, I speak a monocle.
Or you can actually have it set up as doubles, which is quite unique actually, because you can actually sing a double song with just yourself. Here you can also change the level of the effect as well. Here you got a couple of different games you can play along with the music. Basically it's just like a ranking, so depending on how well you do, you get different points. But unfortunately none of them are going to work because the service is now offline, unfortunately. Over here we got different types of cut. Not too sure what it's all about, but there you go. Here you got your screen setup and some other bits and bobs such as exiting the karaoke, the options and load and save. So there you have it. That's the Sega Karaoke for the Sega Dreamcast. Was a really nice bit of hardware, but these days completely and utterly useless, unfortunately.
It's Mamono Hunter Yoko and the Seven Bells. One of the classics from the early days in the Mega Drive, based on the anime of the same name. Actually a nice bit of trivia here, but the first anime was more of a hentai anime. And if you don't know what hentai means, it basically means the anime was full of, the animation was full of sex. You know, monsters raping young girls getting their tits out, talking about having sex with their boyfriends, and all stuff like that. But there's none of that in the Mega Drive game. So it must be based on the follow-up animations, which didn't have none of that in at all. There you go, there's Yoko there. Now being based on anime, you probably think the game's a load of crap. And if you just take the graphics for if you just take the game at face value by looking at the graphics, you will think that's crap. But the fact is that Mamono Hunter Yoko, or Yoko Devil Hunter in English, is actually pretty good. Yeah, I'll be the first to admit that the graphics do look a bit on the shitty side. I'd be a lying bastard if I said they weren't. But the game plays so well. Now you see that little ball thing, or little sphere which is surrounding Yoko? Now the key of the game is to use that wisely. As you can see here, I'm sort of reflecting these seeds to come towards me. Or you could also shoot it out as well. You see I just absorbed a few seeds there. So it can actually be used as a force field against small items, or as a projectile attack. Just be careful on this bit. Jump in the wrong direction when the wind's blowing against you, and into the water you go. So anyway, as I was saying, the little circular thing around Yoko is the main key to the game. Now to get it off, you just hold down the attack button and keep it held down. To fire it out, you just let go of the attack button. When it comes back, keep your finger on the button again. That didn't last long, did it? So between each level you get a little cutscene as well, which unfortunately you're not going to get to see. Yoko Devil Hunter is also no easy game either. It can be quite tough at times, and dare I say, a little bit frustrating as well. Oh, by the way, just check out this cool pause scene. Nice, eh? So yeah, as I was saying, the game can be pretty tricky and a bit frustrating at times. You know, don't let that put you off, keep with it. I guarantee you're going to enjoy yourself playing this one, if platformers are your thing. So think of it as a poor man's Alicia Dragoon. Or the rich man's Valis. Overall, a very, very good game. And definitely worth your attention. Unfortunately, it does go for quite a bit of money these days. Not as much as Elisa Dragoon does, but you know, still costs you a pretty penny every now and then. So, Yoko Devil Hunter on the Sega Mega Drive gets a lovely Metrocore score of 7 out of 10. A pretty decent platformer. Nah, I'm not dead. Soon will be though. It's actually one of the easier bosses in the game as well. The idea is just to avoid the blue spheres that he throws out. If they touch you, you find yourself dead. Just like that. Yeah, good old metallic police guy is back. It's RoboCop, and this time he speaks Japanese. Made by Ocean, based loosely on the arcade version by Data East. This is RoboCop for the Super Famicom. No, not the Super Famicom, for the Famicom, better known as the NES. So RoboCop's got 3 ways of killing people. Either you can punch them, just like that, or shoot them with your gun. Actually, that's only 2 ways, isn't it? Now, one really annoying thing about this game is that RoboCop can't actually jump. It's gonna be bloody annoying at times, especially when you get those enemies coming at you at some weird, awkward angles. Another thing I noticed is that the gun can be a little bit slow. I remember bloody dogs attacking you in the movie of RoboCop. Here we go, this is how you kill your bad guys in RoboCop. You get them stuck in the corner and keep punching repeatedly. Not a problem. Here we go, RoboCop with the tough talks to the bad guy there. The bad guys go, I'm gonna fucking clue you on about RoboCop, speak fucking English. See, at this stage you can't actually get your gun out until you've been shot once, just look at this. There you go, now he gets his bloody gun out. I find that quite annoying, to be honest. So as well as walking through the streets of old downtown Detroit, RoboCop also enters buildings. And it seems to be that every building in downtown Detroit is a maze. RoboCop finds himself going through in and out of all manner of rooms, just to find the bloody exit. And of course he never changes the CD in his bloody built-in suit CD player. You can hear it's the same tune all the way. So RoboCop for the Famicom isn't exactly the worst game out there. It's not exactly the best game either, obviously. Main problems with it that it does drag on a little bit, but not as bad as some other stuff such as Nightmare on Elm Street, which I was actually going to review instead of this, but I just got so fucking bored playing I couldn't be arsed.
In the search for the definitive computer simulator game, one name is clearly emerging. Konix Multisystem. Experience the reality. Get behind the wheel of the new Conix Multisystem and you'll really appreciate that powerful 32-bit custom processor. This is real state-of-the-art graphic performance, and even at these speeds, it handles beautifully. And this is really a display of a lifetime, perfect control over every maneuver, and with over 4,000 different colors to choose from, we're looking at a dazzling graphic display. Well, have you ever seen anything quite like this? What a powerful machine this is. We're getting the ultimate high performance from its 16-bit microprocessor. And just listen to that. That's CD quality sound from the Conix Multisystem. Unbeatable. Seeing and hearing the Conix Multisystem is one thing. Feeling it is another. The control unit gives full tactile feedback, so you can feel the tarmac as you drive. Feel the wings respond as you pull back on the controls. Sense the bite of the tires as you corner hard into that sharp left-hander. The Conix Multisystem. It's a car, it's a plane, it's a bike in one system. Not only that, but there's a gear shift mounted on the right of the control unit. And unique dual foot pedals that are really responsive for maximum realism. For other combat games, there are fire buttons placed in just the right position. We even include a free Conix Navigator joystick with every multi-system. And all games are on standard 3.5-inch disc drive for real cost effectiveness. But the Conix Multisystem doesn't stop there. If you think the multi-system itself is amazing, the accessories are out of this world. Take your seat for the experience of a lifetime. This is the Conix Multisystem powered chair. It rolls, pitches and yaws just like the real thing. You can't get more realism without actually being there. The TV is mounted on the chair too, so it moves as you move. There's a seat belt for full security, and a wide base and low center of gravity for maximum stability. There are styling panels with stereo speakers you can add for CD quality with extra vroom. And for the ultimate in realism, enter your own private world with the optional full-size cover. Added to that, there's a helicopter control stick you can plug in for greater game flexibility. A 12-button keyboard, giving instant control for even the most complex games. And a space-age style light gun for instant on-screen play. It's got real recoil action as you fire. A clip-on hand grip and butt to turn it into a rifle. And it's even got an auto-fire control to get you out of the tightest spots. It all adds up to a world-beating system with software to match. Like the multi-system itself, the software for it is quite literally the best on Earth. The world's top software manufacturers have been commissioned to write software specifically for the Conix Multisystem. And we'll be adding as many as 10 new ones a month. The Conix Multisystem. Experience the reality today.
It's Sega Gaga, the Sega simulation. Ever wanted to run Sega, think you could do a better job than what they did? Well, now here's your chance. In this complete and utter crazy game. Basically, you take control of Sega and you have to make some games. So the game starts off with an introduction from the boss here, who's Hitomaji. And this is your supporter, which is Arisa. And basically she'll help you out throughout the game, give you information on what you want to do, and so on. So as you can see here, we're just going to have a look at the ratings at the beginning of the game, how Sega doing, and as you can see they're doing absolutely pathetic. They only got 3% of the market. So it's your job to get that 3% all the way up to 100%. So first thing you gotta do is wander around the offices of Sega, which are filled full of complete and utter nutcases, and find yourself some programmers, designers, and a director. And you go about recruiting these guys by actually having a fight with them. At the end of a fight, sometimes you get the opportunity to hire them or offer them a position. If you offer them a position, you actually get them to work at a lower wage as well, so best to wait out until you can offer them a position instead of just employing them straight out. But it's not actually that easy either, because first you got to beat them. As you can see here, we're fighting up the dust ball, and to actually recruit them, you actually have to ask them a lot. Well, they ask you a lot of questions, and you've got to get all the questions right. The problem is they're all in Japanese, but don't worry, just select a shitload of options really quickly, and you're bound to get to the top, just like that. So once you got a load of producers, designers and programmers, they can actually send them to the office and start making your game. Now don't worry about these guys that are sort of leaning on the side. This game is completely mad and full of all sorts of wacky crazy stuff. You end up having fights with great big lobsters and God knows what. Also a nice little feature I'm sure a lot of you will like, you actually get to go to Akihabara. And while you're there you can go shopping for some goodies. Now, there's actually a story to the game as well. It's not just making Sega games to make Sega a successful company. There's actually another player who's your partner as such, who's a female, and actually she turns out to be from another planet. And there's also an employee inside Sega who's a member of Dogma, or whatever they're really called, who's the opposing company. Actually, it's probably meant to be Sony, to be honest. So you can see we've got all our programmers working. And you can give them some abuse if they start slacking off. But you don't want to abuse them too much, otherwise you get a right paddy on and then won't start working. But one thing which they do really like is a bit of bribe. Or a bit of a bribe I should say. And one thing which really goes down well is the Lolita girl offering them a drink. Bring her on and all the bloody programmers go into hyper mode. So as you can probably tell, this game is completely nuts, and every now and then these little sections pop up throughout the game. This one's about why is Sega games so interesting, and the lady's saying that the people work really, really hard to make the games, and that's why they're so good. But there is actually one of these where the actual dinosaur guy, he asked the girly puppet, why aren't Dreamcast selling so well? And she says, well, I'll tell you, and then the whole screen just goes off. And then at the end of that, you hear the little dinosaur begging for his mercy, apologising, asking such a dumb question. They're certainly not afraid to take the piss out of themselves, put it that way. So once you complete the game, or complete certain parts of the game, you get to look at all sorts of little extras which you pick up. These actually games which are meant to be made. You got Master System, Sega Saturn, Dreamcast, Game Gear, and all sorts of stuff in there. Also, the game features 3 mini games as well. This one, pretty simple one. The good old get the boxes into the truck. Another one which I actually like this one better. You gotta clean all the monster screens within the time limit. But one really good extra bonus game, which is actually pretty much a game in its own, to be honest, is this one. Oh, 920. Recognize that ship there? Yeah, you got it. It's Thunder Force. Actually, that's the intro to what Thunder Force 6 should have been on the Dreamcast. As a sort of a special treat, it's actually been added to Sega Gaga, featuring music by Funky Surrounding as well, one of the original composers of the Thunder Force soundtrack. And in this shoot 'em up, you get to fight all previous Sega machines. Starting off from the SG-1000, which is actually up before the Master System. There's also an arrange mode in this game where you can play as the Sega R360 attached to some booster, and it's a completely new soundtrack as well, more of a dance type soundtrack. Also the levels vary a little bit, but all the enemies are the same. You got the Sega Master System, Japanese version, Mark III, throwing out features from Aztec Adventure. And you got the Mega Drive, Mega CD, and 32X. What a beast! So there you have it, this Sega Gaga on the Sega Dreamcast. Absolutely crazy RPG. Definitely well worth checking out. There are a few guides on the internet for it, so don't worry too much about the language barrier. Any fan of Sega will love this game. It's absolutely jam-packed with history, and as I said before, it's not afraid to take the piss out of itself either. Gets a wonderful retro core score of 9 out of 10. Definitely one of the most fun RPGs I've played in a long, long time. Well, if you can call it an RPG, it's more like a shoot 'em up RPG come strategy game. Whatever you want to call it, it's bloody good stuff.
この星を見ろ。欲望の赴くまま無軌道に越え太り、自分の星を食い潰す人間ども。こんな真似がいつまで続くと思う。彼らには別の世界が必要なのだ。ドルメヒカによって導き出される新しい世界が。
It's that time again when you pull down your pants and have a great big fucking dump. It's a shite of the month. This month's shite of the month is Race America. And just look at the fucking state of those pictures there from the character select screen. Bloody awful. So let's enter our name. I think we'll just put Asshead, since basically that's what this game is all about. Is that fucking disabled Michael Jackson with the blonde wig there doing a moonwalk? Anyway, you select your shitty car, and then your opponent select his car, which is the exact same car, but in blue. In fact, your opponent looks like you as well. So it starts off here in the typical American tradition of a drag race. And you got to do your gears manually, which is a pain in the ass because you can't accelerate as fast as the opponent car can. And then you go into the split screen view, and you can see I'm at the bottom. And then you switch to the overhead view as you take over, and back to the same shitty view. The end. Shite.
SnowSpeeder.
So back in the mid-90s, snowboarding games were all the rage. And the Nintendo 64 certainly had its fair share of them, but this is one of the more lesser known games. So as you can see, you got a couple of stages to choose from. And you've also got a couple of game modes as well, including freeride, slalom and giant slalom. You've also got two styles which include skiing and snowboarding. Actually the skiing's bloody awful to control. And of course you've got the good old setup where you can change the board type. Doesn't really make much difference, to be honest. And you can also choose what type of clothes you wear, which makes absolutely no difference whatsoever. But at least you get to make your player look nice. So let's take a look at what the game looks like.
Ready? Go! Raise your spirit, everybody, go!
Well, first impressions, not too bad. Whoops, until you hit the tree. Hang on, where's my legs gone? As you can see, you've just noticed. Here you go, another fucking tree. One of the main points of the game, one of the main bad points, is you can actually ski under the snow. Now, it's the only skiing game or snowboarding game that I've ever seen in my life where you can actually ski and you're waist high in snow. Must be some sort of special snow, I guess. There you go, my legs are gone again. Fair enough, the graphics aren't too bad, I guess. Some nice lighting on this stage. But the thing is that the game is absolutely bloody awful to control. Especially when you're controlling this skier. Snowboarding controls a little bit better. One of the main problems with it is that you can actually fall over for no reason whatsoever. Another really annoying thing is that the opponents or the computer AI is just pathetic. You know, you can have a ski right into the back of you. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it because you can't see him coming, and basically knocks you flat on your ass, which is completely unfair. And as with all snowboarding games, you've got to have a load of tricks in there to make it more interesting. Unfortunately, this one has 2, if you're lucky. Womp! Got falling through the floor there. Just check out this when I come out the end of this tunnel. I fall over and I don't even hit anything. This is mad. Ready? Look at that! What the fuck did I hit? You can see the slalom section of the game. Basically it's the same course as you've just seen before, except you got slalom posts to go in and out of. Unfortunately, this game only gets the retro score of 5 out of 10. Get snowball kids 1 or 2 over this one. May look a bit cutesy, but it's a hell of a lot better to play.
Come on, one more time.
It's those Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or the Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles if you lived in Europe, in their first Super Famicom outing based on the Konami arcade game. Here it comes for the home. And when I first bought this, I was completely pissed off. Maybe that's because I was a stupid kid and you gotta make kids know jack shit about bloody games. That's why there's so much crap made for them. But these days, looking back on it, I think, what the hell was I on back then? It's a bloody corker.
Big Apple, 3 AM.
Back in the days when import games costed a shitload of money, actually they still do really, I remember paying £60 for this one. So as far as looks go, it does look pretty much like the arcade. Everything is a little bit smaller. It is lacking in a bit of animation, especially where you throw the foot soldiers towards the screen. A bit more animation or some better scaling could have been used there. But overall, yeah, it does look like the arcade version. Unfortunately, it's only a 2-player simultaneous game, whereas the arcade version was up to 4 players. But you can't have everything. Move-wise, you got all your moves in there. I'm playing as, what the fuck's his name, Michelangelo here. The main I'm a cool dude, one of the group. And he's got quite a few different moves. He can smack you over the head with his nunchucks. He can do a special move where he sort of does, I don't know what it is actually, some sort of mini flight. He can jump in the air and come down very slowly, waving his nunchucks at you, or he can come down and kick you in the face. As well as that, he's got a shoulder throw and a leg throw. So certainly enough moves. And actually, you got to use the throw in this stage here to kill Shredder. But you don't actually kill him, because he comes back later on. So you may notice the game is called Turtles in Time. And this is where everything goes to pot. Shredder flies into a TV, and magically he can transport you through time.
Prehistoric Turtlesaurus.
The game is jam-packed full of little comedy touches, such as on this stage if you get ran over by a couple of dinosaurs, you get flattened to a pizza, as you can see just there. Other stages such as the pirate ship, you can walk onto a loose plankton and they'll send you off flying across the screen. Or you can get set on fire, where you start hopping up and down screaming ouch my toe. Or you can even get sent into a little mini baby terrapin. Those are a completely different animal. There's loads of little lovely touches in there. And of course, being based on the Turtles animation, you've got all your favourites in there as well, such as the Rat King and these two useless suds, Bebop and Rocksteady, and just like in the animation, they're completely dumb. Fans of the comic series may appreciate the extra option of being able to choose comic colours over the animation colours. At the moment you can see we're playing as the animation colours. So even all these years later, Turtles in Time still stands up to be a very good beat-em-up. Definitely one that you should consider looking at, especially if you were a fan of Turtles at the time. Which I suppose everybody was. Well, almost. Great graphics, plays really well. And an awesome soundtrack to boot. Gets a wonderful Metrocore score of 8 out of 10.